Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. With me, the babyface, the sick one, the sicko.
The sicko.
He is the sicko. Okay, so
I'm literally the sicko this week.
Man, what are you sick of? What are you sick of? The Continental Classic. What are we sick of? Mercedes.
I'm sick of all of it.
What? You know what? I'm not sick of. And I don't understand the heat. We're not talking about this. It's not even on a rundown. But this is not. I just watched the video multiple times today. Actually, why are people making fun of my girl dancing in a high school gym? I'll watch that video all day long. Like, what's the problem? Did you see
this?
it?
No.
Oh,
what is this?
Do you have time right now to watch this? Just look up Mercedes Dance High School. Just look up. Just look up. We'll do it live on air. It's fine. Mercedes Dance High School Gym. And it's the greatest video to ever exist in wrestling history. There's nothing better. She still can't dance, but I don't care.
It sounds awful.
But I don't. Are you there yet? It's great. It's one of the. I'm surprised you have not seen this. You know what? If you would have seen it, you would have tagged me.
I would have.
I sent it to me, and you would have made fun of me. And I already denounced her. She's not in my life anymore. She's no longer even on the tip of my tongue for women's wrestling. I know I have a picture of Sasha Banks behind me, not Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
I don't. Mercedes Moné is dead. She doesn't exist. She's like Tony Clifton to Andy Kaufman.
She's basically from Sasha to Mercedes is the biggest failed experiment since Aaron Rodgers from the Packers to the Jets.
Oh my gosh, you're getting benched. You're getting benched. I cannot handle this guy right now. No, that's not happening on my show tonight. Are you going to apologize?
Did you miss me? I'm back. Listen, you haven't been taking the bait on Twitter, so I knew I had to get that in there somewhere, and you just opened the door wide open for me, so I appreciate that.
I placed it right on a tee. Did you see this video yet?
No, I don't see it. I'll find it later. Tag me in it, send it to me. It's probably awful.
It's not awful. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, before we get started, just want to let everyone know Clutch is not in tonight. He is celebrating with his family or his friends. I forgot. But have a great night. There'll be no NXT talk tonight. So you're all off. We don't have to do the homework of JC Jane or JC Joe or whoever else is on that show. I don't know. No one watches it. But I'm so upset that you can't find this. It's right here. It's really all right. I'm going to.
What platform are you searching it on?
X Mercedes High School Gym Dance. That's all you have to search.
I put in those same things, but just in a different order.
Okay, and then it's right here. It's the third thing down. I'm going to tag at. People are loving this, but guys, he's got to see it.
Content.
He's got to see it though. He's got to see the greatest video in wrestling this week, this year, this month, this century, this millennium, this world. But while he's looking at that,
so did this happen recently?
I guess so.
Okay.
Very recently, I think. They were in Japan in a high school gym in front of nobody. Well, there was.
It looks like the if you didn't tell me it was God, this is bad. So bad.
There it is.
Goodness, what is happening?
There it is.
It looks to me like the Florida State Fairgrounds. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah,
you're right. It probably is. Like people just say high school gym because indie wrestlers are known for that. But you didn't like Mina in Mercedes having their little dance off.
I got secondhand embarrassment after the fact, even though you told me what was about to happen.
I told you. Incredible. I mean, I literally described
what a historic fall off.
Yeah, I know.
Is there going to be a Netflix 30 for 30 on it in the next 3 to 5 years?
She was never that important. Like, why would they?
I've seen lesser.
Dark Side of the Ring, maybe.
There you go.
I mean,
a whole episode on them.
She's got to get back to the E. I think she will be. Here's the problem, though, and this can transition into a topic that we can discuss because I know you probably have thoughts on this. If is she too tarnished to go back, and do you think she'd be even credible when she does go back to WWE, or do you think the fans there don't even remember that she left, or don't even know where she's at right now?
Listen, time heals all. Look at where Cody was at when he left the WWE. He was Stardust, bottom of the card, absolute terrible. And AEW, did we care that he was Stardust? No.
No.
When he went back to WWE, maybe we reference it every now and then, but do we really care? Do we see him as Stardust? No. He's way beyond that now. She can go back. It's again, probably needs a little bit of time off. Get out of AEW. It's not working. That style does not fit you. Different styles fit different wrestlers, and that style just does not fit her. She needs a little bit more of the controlled environment, right? Where they're helping her with her promos and whatever. And clearly, because this is not it. We've seen enough. So, yeah, you give it some time, disappears. We don't see her for the last few months of her AEW contract because Tony quits using her or something. Take some time to get over there. Yeah, she can reinvent herself again. I'm for it.
See, only problem with your logic, and it's not, you're right, time heals all. Anything can change, people can recover. We've seen it happen in sports, Hollywood, everywhere. People recover. But the thing is, when Cody left, he was at the rock bottom of Stardust. Like, he was down. And then he had to rise back up. Even though he did his little indie shows and he had his indie moments, we get it. But when he left AEW, he was on national TV. He was the big star in that company, and he left. Like, he raised his stock. Whereas Mercedes, or Sasha at the time, she wasn't tip top, but you would say she's like she's not the number 1 seed, but she's definitely a 2, 3, or 4 seed, right? She's definitely in that, but she was never number 1 seed over there in WWE. She never was, but she was always up there, the 2, 3, or 4. What's going on, Justin? And then when she left, because she was still at that top when she left, she kind of like stayed like right here. And then she kind of went up a little bit when she went to Japan. People were excited to see it. Then we saw her new finish. Then she broke her ankle. And then her stock kind of like went down because we saw her new finish was terrible, right? We all made fun of like, just what are we doing here? Her hair was a mess. Like, everything was a mess out there, in my opinion. But actually, in the public's opinion, because they were kind of getting on her. We see her at Wembley. When she coming out, she does a thing at AEW. Her stock's never been lower. No. Like, in her career, it's never been this low. So for her to go from rock bottom straight back to the E, she's going to need to do some more work in the indies or somewhere to get back up in people's good graces. And I don't think she can do it. I don't think she has the same. She's not Cody.
Yeah. No, I know what you're trying to say without saying it. I get it.
She's not Cody.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I don't know.
I mean, think about like,
haven't they been able to hit the hard reset button on a few people though in the Triple H era?
They're trying. They're hard resetting the New Day right now, which is great, right? They're hard resetting DIY right now. They just turned heel. They are hard resetting people. They tried to do it with Baron Corbin, didn't work out. Right? They sent him in NXT, gave him a new character, gave him some personality. Had a great tag team going with Braun Breaker. Braun got called up. So did Baron. They just kind of left him for dead again. They try to hit the hard reset. But the thing is with Mercedes, I don't know. I don't know if she'll ever, like, there's other people too, like Miro. Will he recover from this? I think he will, because he's been gone for so long.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. When you're gone, Ricky Starks, when you're gone off TV, people want. Yep. People want. Yep. So we're sure Mercedes has to go away, because we will want her again, because we'll remember the good times. Yes, we'll reference her CEO, right? We'll reference that. We always will. But we'll always remember when she comes, like CM Punk. Who would have thought? I know this is old news, but who would have thought there would be a day where I'd see him live in person at WWE if I go, right? No one. Yeah. I never thought that again. I'm going to SmackDown on the 27th. I don't know if he's going to be there. I doubt it. It's not booked, but you never know. I'm excited for it. Chris, are you going to go? I don't want to put you on the spot. Are you going to go?
I didn't even know what was happening. I don't know. This year, I don't know. The plans that week, I'll tell you about it later. The plans that week are like so up in the air. I have no idea what I'm doing all of next week. Every day next week, I have no clue.
That's like my everyday, bro. Like,
well, yeah. I
I
mean,
know.
actually, really starting with tomorrow, just because of the sickness, and
Yeah.
it's going through the house, and then with plans next week. I have no
So you're
idea.
probably
So
out.
I'm like a 50-50 toss. I'm not necessarily out. I have no clue.
Well, that's fine. My point was this: they always have Raw or SmackDown here during the holidays.
They do.
Every single year, it feels
I'm
like, because I
noticing
think
that.
a lot of wrestlers live here. I believe that's probably why they do it.
That
That's
makes
probably why they
sense.
book it. But man, if it's another mail-in show, because I spent a lot of money on these tickets. I bought that package. I bought 2 tickets.
You did
But
really?
it's Chase Club, taking Finley.
Yeah. Y-
Well, I got. Hold on.
He
Here's a
better eat. You better
Hold
tell him,
on.
kid, you keep
Hold on.
eating.
I have Montreal Canadian tickets on my birthday, the 29th. Selling those.
Yeah.
Those pretty much, Canadians pay money to come to Tampa Bay to watch games.
Yeah.
So I sold my tickets.
Where are
Selling
your
them.
tickets at this year?
204,
Okay.
205, 200 level. Yeah. So like decent money. So Dave's working
Yeah.
on getting those sold. Anyway, that's paying for those. That's why I did that. I called my ticket rep. I'm like, yo, I want these to give me. Is there a service fee? Is there $100 fee that I don't know? She's like, that's straight up the price. All you can drink, all you can eat. It's the Chase Club. Have you been to the Chase Club?
Yes. At
Yeah,
some point.
I've been there once for a playoff game. I spent like
But it's in
$800.
the 200 section.
Yeah, it's like right under
So,
the big
oh
orchestra
yeah.
guy.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I've been there a couple times where they have
Yeah,
like that whole side. Yeah, and they have all the different food stations and drinks. Yeah, I've done that a handful of times.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. And if it's during my birthday week, why not? And it's Christmas, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why
Take
the
your
F not?
son.
So I'll be at SmackDown. That's the whole rundown, guys. If you see, did I tell you this story? My supervisor, real life. This is real life talk here. During the election time, and I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not going to talk about politics because it's ridiculous. Um. Anyway, she's one of those people where if you vote for a certain person, she's just never going to talk to you again.
Wow.
AKA her father. She told me she was not. This is around Thanksgiving. Not excited to go to Thanksgiving. Did not want to talk to her dad. She voted for a certain person. She lives in South Carolina. We're all virtual. She knows I live in Florida. So many times wrestling's been brought up in our meetings, icebreakers. Well, Josh, what do you like? Josh, where do you want on vacation? I always say I want to go to Japan for the Tokyo Dome. I want to see Wrestle King, all this stuff. And they like everyone knows I like wrestling at work. Everyone.
Yeah.
So my soup and I finally get one-on-one and talk politics for the first time ever. And she's like, it was after he won, and she was just livid. She was irrational. I could have called HR on her. I really could have. I could have. She went nuts on our Microsoft Teams meeting. But she was cool. Like she wasn't mad, but she's like, I'm not talking. Anyway, she said, I said, man, everyone's so upset about this election. Like, I don't know one person who voted for him. And she goes, you didn't? I'm like, no. She goes, well, you live in Florida and you like wrestling. I'm like, what? Like, this is real life.
She thought for sure you're Floridian who loves this wrestling.
I just like lost it, dude. I'm like, well, I didn't vote for him, but I didn't vote for her either. I voted for the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Like, that's a legit shoot. Like, that's who I voted for.
Just
So
right in.
that's a legit shoot right there, brother. I voted. I did it before JBL took his picture of whoever he voted for. So F you, JBL, but that was still cool. Good for you. I don't know if you saw that. JBL posted he voted for some wrestler. I forgot who it was. My brother, I did that at 8 a.m. Anyway, so today I bought the tickets and I messaged her. I said, hey, listen, you make sure you watch USA Network at 8 p.m. next Saturday or Friday. I'm going to have my giant MAGA sign. We're going to have MAGA. People, we're going to hold it up. She goes, and she laughs about it on, those little laughy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you'll probably be the only one without that sign. And I said, no, don't worry. I bought the expensive Chase Club tickets. Like, I'll be with the cool people. And she goes, cool. So there you go. I got her accepted. I'm in the good graces again. I'm no longer a redneck that likes wrestling that voted for Trump.
Did you tell her you're not from North Florida? She's probably thinking of a North Florida person.
No, she knows that I live in Tampa. She knows I live in Riverview. She comes
but
out.
Does she know Florida? Because I think the stereotype that she had in her head was North Florida. what you would see in North Florida.
I know, but yeah, I guess people just stereotype anyone these days, which is fine. Anyway, back to Real Talk Wrestling. I thought it was a funny story. Where were we? Oh, transition to WWE
Mm-hmm.
in the whole hard reset of characters and
Yep.
in character development. So I haven't talked to you since the New Day stuff happened. Have you got a chance to watch this saga play out?
Yeah, I've watched some of it. I went back and I saw the episode where they turned on him, and then I think what, one or two episodes. I just couldn't watch the most recent one, as I was telling you pre-show. My DVR file is no good, so I've seen everything up until then. I made sure to sit down and actually watch the full video each episode.
Yeah, good stuff, right? Like, is this probably the best stuff or most invested you've been in the New Day in a long time, or are you just whatever?
No, it's good because it gives them something fresh. Because as they pointed out, they've been going for 10 years, and they started off as heels, and somehow they slowly won us over. But they did need something different. The only thing that I didn't fully like or fully get is that their reasoning was that Big E wasn't there for them. But like, this man had like a major injury, and you're complaining that he's not there for you.
Chris, they're heels. That's the point for you to feel that way. The whole point, so they did their job. The whole point was to make people like you go, that's their reasoning?
Yeah.
This guy had a broken neck. Yeah, that's the whole point. But they have a good point. Where were you
Do
at?
they?
Yeah.
He was recovering.
No,
Taking
you
it
were
easy.
no, you were at every single PLE. Where were you at during our matches?
He's
Where were you
chilling.
at to support us?
He's got to chill. He's got to take it easy now.
We're one. Stone Cold came back. Edge came back. Right? No, I'm being serious. That's the one thing I like about Triple H's direction. Everything makes sense to a point where Drew and Roman wrestled 2 years ago overseas, and homeboy Solo Sikoa screwed him over. That's how he lost overseas 2 years ago. He is still mad about that.
No.
He's not like, oh yeah, Seth still mad at Roman. Like in the Vince era, it'd be like, Drew, I'm a heel. Roman, you're a heel. Oh, I forgive you. We're cool now because we're bad guys. Like,
yeah, we're bad guys. Let's go do a tag team together in the main event.
That's how it used to be. So I do love that. Seth is turning heel right now, and this is just all stories. The good thing with Kofi and New Day, we'll use them because we're talking about them.
Yep,
they're turning heels, but the reason is legit. Your best friend, your brother, your family member, the guy that was supposed to be there for you no matter what, because you were there for him. He said, "No, I'm just going to go to do PLE pregame shows. I'm cool. I don't need to be there. I'm still drawing a paycheck from WWE, and I'm still here, but I'm not interacting with my family like I should. The people who were there with me when I broke my neck. I'd be pissed if I was Kofi. I'd be pissed if I was X. Like, they've been arguing on Raw for about 4 or 5 months.
No.
And now Big E shows up. I'm literally like, I thought that was the coolest swerve because obviously we all expected Woods to turn on Kofi. That was what we thought.
Yeah, that's what they were building up for.
Yeah. So it's just so much better. It just makes me wonder though, what would have happened if Odyssey Jones, because he got fired for whatever he did.
Yeah.
I wonder what his part. But I wonder what his part was going to play in this.
Probably something completely different. They probably had to do something different at that point. Maybe they said or they would have done it, still got mad at him, but used him and said, "We don't need you anymore. You left us. Well, guess what? We don't need you anymore. We have someone else here now." So maybe keep it close to the same then, but just that piece was easily removable then.
Yeah, I mean, it was too obvious to have Odyssey Jones turn on Kofi and go with Xavier because that's what I thought it was going to go. I'm like, that's so obvious, but Triple H sometimes does the obvious things. Now we're going to transition to Saturday Night Main Event because you watched it. I actually, we were live here on Finstock Sports Network before Saturday Night's Main Event, and I was hyped. If you were there for that show, you know how hyped I was. I had plans to hang out with my friends and watch wrestling, which I never do. I watch wrestling alone, either on YouTube or, in the morning before work, honestly, sometimes.
Yep.
So we went out. Like,
You went out?
well, not out, but I went to my boy's house. Come on, Chris. I don't go out. I'm old.
Oh,
Like
I was
leaving
like,
the
you
house.
went out?
No, I went to a friend's house and had some nooners. Like it was a
You went
football night,
outside of your house and
which I
inside to someone else's.
never do. And oh boy, well, anyway, how disappointed was I? Because that was one of the most boring shows I've ever seen in my life.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it. I thought Triple H played it very safe. I didn't like the fact that I had to be told by somebody because I don't go on. So I know this is not a humble brag, whatever. I just don't go on social media anymore. I don't. The first thing in my mind when I wake up isn't, oh, click on X or the noon or one. I never click on these buttons unless I have to talk to somebody. I
Yeah.
broke my addiction, and that's not like something to brag. I have literally do not care about social media anymore.
Yep.
So I am now an outsider. I didn't know Kevin Owens did what he did until someone texted it to me. It's like, just put it on the show. Just put it on the show.
Maybe they're they're getting more engagement off the show. They got to get all their socials going. That way they can engage outside of their times.
Okay.
Their Monday night, Friday night slot.
If you want to still get that going on, then put the Triple H part there, where Triple H came out and confronted Kevin Owens. That doesn't need to be on the show. That doesn't need to be on the show because that just brings Triple H on. Did you see that part?
No, I didn't see Triple H come out. I did see the Kevin Owens Cody spot, but I didn't see Triple H.
So yeah. So after that, Kevin Owens grabs a belt, blah, 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 walks up. Then Triple H comes out mad, like gets in his face, bows up, knocks the belt out of his hand, bows up on him. That's okay for social media because we're not bringing Triple H on as an on-air talent. We're not bringing him on as a GM. We're not bringing him on. Like he just shows up when he needs to show up. So like, I'm okay with that being on social media because that's like the real part of it. But if you want to make me actually care about the story, which I do, put that on the show because guess what? I'm not going on social media. I'm not searching that stuff out anymore. And I'm not the only one. I'm sure there is.
Did they recap it on Raw?
I believe they did because I didn't watch much of Raw. But still, put it on Saturday Night Main Event. Okay. Justin in the chat brings up great points and he has a lot, right? This was a problem with the show. Too many commercials. Matches were too short. Chris, you got to fast forward through commercials. Good for you.
Yep. It was great.
Jesse the Body was great. Do you agree? I think he was great too. He looked great. It's cool. The whole show looked great. KO stole the show, right? Stole the wing. He stole the Winged Eagle belt. Still carrying around, so he might, bring it to SmackDown tomorrow. And yes, they recapped it on Raw. Thanks, Justin. I must have missed that. Anyway.
There you go. It's on the show. You didn't have to go on social media.
Survivor Series was a dud. Nothing happened. Nothing of I talked about this with Bobby and Clutch, I believe. Remember the last Survivor Series where they put the little thing that the copyright sign at the very bottom of the screen and then CM Punk came out? So this year, when the OG Bloodline won, I'm sitting there for a little bit. They're doing the whatever. They're doing the ones and Punk's doing the sleep thing.
No.
I turn it off because my dog has to go outside, I believe. So I'm like, all right, I'll take you outside, whatever. And then I remember, I turn the PlayStation off, everything. Like everything is off. Then I remember, oh crap. Last year they got us because, they had the extended ending. Let me see what the hell's going on. So I turn it back, beep. PlayStation takes forever to turn on. TV takes forever to turn on. I still was able to turn it back on in time for them to be on the stage. And I'm like, yes, I didn't miss it. Let's go. And then it fades to black. What the? So that was a dud ending. Saturday Night's Main Event. It would have been so exciting. It would have made me go, oh crap, I gotta watch Raw. I gotta watch SmackDown. If I saw that.
So you wanted a cliffhanger ending?
Don't we all? Especially on a show that did nothing. I don't truly believe Saturday Night's Main Event did anything for any story that wasn't like already there.
Yeah, you're saying it didn't advance any story.
It didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really know because I haven't been, of course, very closely following WWE, but I didn't know what the purpose of the show was.
Okay.
Like, was this supposed to rival like AEW's Winter is Coming, where it's like a special show? You know what I mean, though? But like,
no.
Well, or at least what that used to mean.
They don't have a
special
PLE
show.
They don't have a PLE this month.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get a special show out there, and plus it's They wanted to bring back something like that. So it was a special show. It was a special,
Yeah.
basically PLE on TV.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay.
With no promos, no like a real. It's not like Raw. Winter's coming. They still Dynamite, but this one felt like it's just a bunch of matches because that's all it was. It was match, commercials, match, commercial. There was no promos. There was no.
Yeah. Okay. So it was more like a PLE, like a.
Yep.
I don't know. I overall, because I didn't have any expectations going into it, I was just watching it just to watch it, to catch up, see what it was about. I personally enjoyed it with no expectations.
Okay.
The first thing that caught my eye was the aesthetic of the whole show. Obviously, Saturday night main event. They made everything look retro. I always love that kind of stuff. Between, I noticed the referee uniforms were the blue shirts, the ropes were the red, white, and blue.
Mhm.
The logo was the old school logo as much as they could in the corner. And then the main thing that I absolutely loved was the entrance coming out. It's not the big, giant, overproduced WWE entryway that we get now. It was old school. I've always liked the more simple entryways. It's one thing right now, as much as we rag on AEW, it's one thing I like so much better about AEW than WWE. They have a lot more simple looking entryways compared to WWE. And so to see main event like really throw it back, like I love that. I thought that was great. I thought overall the show was fine. The opening match with Sami Zayn and what was it?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew, yeah. That match was awesome. The crowd was getting into it. The crowd was lively. And it was good to see how many people came out and showed up for a Saturday night wrestling event. Because as we know, Saturday night wrestling does not work for everybody right now.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, we can't rag on AEW right now. They put on a weekly terrible show, whereas this was a special show. If AEW didn't run Saturday nights already, and they put on a special like Fight for the Fallen, but it was actually a good card, people would watch it. Like not like millions. I don't know how. I didn't see the rating for Saturday Night Main Event.
But 2.5. I want to say
because it was set up, because it was a banger. It was because it was important matches. Like Drew McIntyre's whole match. It's funny because you probably don't know any stories. Like Drew McIntyre, his mission right now is to take out the entire OG bloodline and anyone that supports him. That's his goal. So he already took out Jimmy. He already took out Jay once. He's taking out Sammy. Who knows who's next? Who knows? Nobody knows.
2.3 million officially. There it is. So I was close. I said 2.5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess no one watches wrestling on Saturday night. So what was the best match of the night for you? Because I have
the first one.
The first one was the best match.
Yeah, Sammy and Drew. It was the best one. It's the one that kept my attention the best. I don't know. But then again, I'm always a big Sammy fan. I just love all his matches. So maybe there's a little bit of a bias there, but I thought it was the best one.
And Drew is so great. Drew is so good. He's my wrestler of the year. I said this to Bobby like 3 weeks ago on Saturday night. I said, so when we do our award shows and when we do our award, spoiler, Drew is the wrestler of the year. Like there's no, like you can say CM Punk did this and that. I'm sorry, that story doesn't exist without Drew. Drew carried that whole feud for weeks by himself, like on social media. It was great. Drew's the best, and is going to do even better work when he wrestles. Who knows coming up? Like there's like the bloodline right now. Is he going to knock out Cody? Is he going to knock out? Who's next? Roman? Is he going to go after Roman again? Solo? Like we don't know. No one knows. That's the cool thing, Paul. It could be anybody, and I'm excited for that. I think can't be CM Punk again though. Can't be. He's got a. I don't know. But he mentioned them, didn't he? I think he did. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But that was so good. I don't know. What else caught your eye? Did you like Chelsea Green winning the women's title, the mid-card title?
I haven't been following close enough to have an opinion one way or the other. Like, so I don't know. What are your thoughts? I did want to ask you about that. What are your thoughts about a women's mid-card title? Is this going to work or is it too convoluted?
It's too we can't say it's too much. You don't have enough women to do
Because they used to
Look at
just
you
have a
now.
women's champion back in the day. One women's champion.
You have 4. Technically, you have 6 women's champions. 6.
Okay,
Think
so you
about
have
it.
the women's.
The tag teams. Those are
Yeah.
champions. That's
Yep.
2.
Yep.
You have an IC on Raw. You have a United States on SmackDown. And you have the 2 worlds. 6. And then
You
you
have
have whatever
6
in it.
women champions.
Yeah,
Not
like
on NXT, so just on the main roster, there's 6
yeah.
women champions.
That's crazy, right? Isn't that too much? So
Yes.
then, like, I understand it's hard to book
Just
a women's feud
and
to be
let me just
interesting.
say, it's too much for anyone watching. It's too much because you compare the number of champions to the number of people on the roster.
There we go.
It's always in wrestling, most of the time in any promotion, your men's roster is going to be much larger than the women's one. Even on the men's side, it almost feels like too many belts. And there's way more wrestlers there. So for the women's side to have that many belts, it's too much. I feel like, if you want to do a champion and a mid card, and like that's it.
Mhm.
You don't need tag champions. Is there enough like true feeling tag teams?
No.
Or is it just always, I feel like it's always just throw togethers, right?
Yeah.
You don't need 2 champions. You don't need 2 mid card titles. It's
But
too much.
what are we gonna do? We can't. We don't book this show. Like that's what I'm
Everyone's
saying,
a
though,
champion.
Chris. It's hard enough to book a women's feud without a title and have it appeal to the audience, which the audience is what 18 to 34 men. We don't care about
Are we
women's.
at that's not us anymore. We're
Well, I
out of
know.
the
I know that's not us anymore. We're out of the Q demo. I get it, Chris. We're old. You don't have to tell me. It's funny. I'm not going to tell that story because that's embarrassing. Um, someone's like, "Who's the hottest girl?" And I'm still saying Jennifer Love Hewitt. Josh, you're so old. Yeah. Whatever. So, God damn it, I'm old.
This is 2000.
Someone told me pick a girl below 50 years old. I'm like, bro, chill. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, women's. We're not part of the demo. Whatever. But it's probably even harder to get me interested in why is Meechin fighting with Chelsea Green over a dumpster match? Like, why do I care?
Yeah.
So they think that they have to get a title involved to make these mid-card women important. But the fact of the matter is we're never going to care because it's not interesting unless you make it interesting. Right? No one cares about Mercedes and the TBS title. We hardly care about Mariah May.
She still have the title?
I don't know. Justin,
Probably.
does she still have the title? Yeah, she does because she just flexed it on Mina in the high school gym.
You just said that like Justin is Siri. Justin, does she have the title?
He has all the. He's the smartest guy I know about wrestling. Like he knows everything.
He's turning out the stuff there. It was just like you're just talking. Justin, does she have the title? All right, then you're right back to the show talking like normal. Like you did it like how you talk to your Siri or your Alexa or whatever your home app.
First off, I don't appreciate you talking.
That was just funny. Go back. I want you to go back. I don't know if you ever go back and watch our shows, but if you could, please go back and watch that part where you just you stopped and you turned and you had to say it a very specific way, and then you're right back to the show.
Okay. Josh, calm down. All right. She does have the belt. She's still the champion. I knew that because I knew that, Justin. You didn't tell me. She was dancing with Mina and she held the belt. I've seen that video 25 times today. She holds the belt at the top.
So
very end. It's a great video. It's good. It's the best video. Anyway, yes, women's titles, mid card. Yeah, I agree with you. One world champion, one mid card title.
That's it.
Why? I have a feeling, and we've been doing this. We've been bouncing back and forth, where Drew's on SmackDown or CM Punk shows on SmackDown or Jimmy's on Raw or whoever. Let's get back to that. I know I've always been against a brand split since day one. I've always been against it. I think it's stupid. I think it's silly, right? You work for the same company. Why are we dividing brands? I always thought that was super silly. Did you enjoy the brand split? I mean, when it meant something?
I think there's a way to do it correctly. I like the idea of a soft brand split. And what does that mean? That means you're not specifically saying that this person belongs to this show or this one belongs to this show.
Mm-hmm.
There are no wild card passes involved. It is just straight up like what we've seen. Roman's been on SmackDown mostly, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he can't appear on Raw. It's just if you want to follow his storyline, you need to tune in on Friday nights. His story is going to be there. You're not going to miss his story if you miss the Monday Night Raw because his is over there. And then you have other people that are, for the most part, on Raw. So if you want to keep up, and so I do like it for that reason. Like, keep people where they are, keep their story going, at least, even if not characters. Keep their story going on a show until it finishes out. And then if you want to just casually slide them over to the other show, go for it. Give them some new matchups without having to wait for the draft every year and all that thing.
Mhm.
So a soft split, just kind of keep people where they are. Because what I didn't like back in the day was whenever Raw and SmackDown were going, I would feel like sometimes like they would have the same stories going. So you'd have the same few wrestlers on Raw and then again on SmackDown, and so many people would be left sitting on the sideline because there was no time for them.
Mhm.
Because even if it was my boy Rock or Austin or Triple H or Mankind or whoever, like, do they need 2 segments a week to push their story?
No.
No. Once a week is fine. And then let someone else have the others. Pick whichever side you want to be on. You want to be on Raw, you want to be on SmackDown, whatever. But then free up that time for other, because of how big their roster is, split it up to where it keeps everyone kind of with something to do.
I don't hate that. And I was gonna bring that up to you was, you know, it's not gonna hurt Raw if the women's title isn't on Raw for an extended like 3 months. Let's say, for example, Rhea Ripley wins the title from Liv, which I think she will. And let's just pretend right now that SmackDown doesn't have a champion. And Rhea goes and feuds with Bailey over on SmackDown. Just theoretically. No one on Raw is gonna go, wait a minute, where's our women's champion?
Yeah.
No, they're fine because that spot will be filled with the women's mid card title if you want
Yeah.
your women's wrestling,
Yeah.
and they can cycle back and forth. And it's not like it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be forced. It could just be something natural, right?
Exactly. Kind of move them around where they need to go.
Yeah, and it could all just be work natural. And I don't see why they can't figure
But
that out. But people are going to complain because, Chris, we've already seen it in the past. When there's not a world champion on Raw, that's a problem. People are like, this sucks. Because when Roman had both belts and there was no champion on Raw and they had to create one for Seth, people were complaining that there wasn't why is there no champion on Raw?
but wasn't that kind of when they had like the hard split though?
I mean, they still technically have a hard split, but I
Well,
get,
that's what I was saying. Just don't have a hard split. Again,
but but
don't make your wrestlers brand specific. Make your stories brand specific.
if the feud is on SmackDown or the feud's on Raw, don't you think the viewers of Friday night who can't afford Netflix or the people that only stream and don't have USA, that's going to happen, people?
It's going to get a little more difficult, yeah, with the Netflix thing going on now. For
Yeah,
sure.
because if you have the main, Cody versus Roman on Raw, the people that don't want to spend $17.99 on Netflix aren't going to be able to watch it because that story is specifically going to be on Netflix. So they want their big main event. They want their world title on USA. And you got to think about that too. The network, they're not willing to give up a world championship. I mean, it means nothing to us, right? I mean, I guess it does since we're talking about it. But in the end of the day, it's a prop. It's just a prop. But USA Network's going to go, I want a world champion. Why does Netflix get one? And then Netflix will do, well, we have one world champion. They'll be on SmackDown occasionally. Then they go to SmackDown for a while to have their program. Then Netflix is like, whoa, we don't have a world champion every week? What? That's a problem. You don't think they would, but I don't think they would do that with the women's. I honestly,
No,
I don't think they would.
no, I don't think they would.
But I think they would still need 2 world champions, but I think that's dumb. I'm okay. As a viewer, I'm not going on SmackDown. Where's my world champion? No.
No.
I'm invested in Drew and CM Punk didn't have a world championship, but it was the best story of all time and of this year.
It was for
So,
sure. It was the best feud of the year.
Just write good stuff. Just write good stuff and we'll watch.
Yes.
I'm not watching a show on HBO just because I like the actor. Honestly, if it sucks, I'm not watching.
Yeah.
Make good stories. It's a fucking TV show. Sorry, Bobby. Damn it, that was the first one. That was the first one. Because Clutch isn't here.
Made it.
He is such a bad influence, that Clutch.
40 minutes.
Clutch, you are such. Listen, Bobby, I'm sorry. That just slipped up. last week I went on a huge rant. Were you here last week? You weren't.
No, remember, it was my birthday last week.
I
was
cussed
here.
like you. The sorry Bobby count would have been.
So what happens when the baby face isn't here?
Someone brought up Charlotte Flair, and then just the floodgates opened. And so I think someone brought up Jalen Waddle too. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we're gonna get on out of here. There's football to watch tonight. There's play. Are you in the playoffs still?
No, I'm not. I got bounced in the first round. Like always, my teams do good throughout the year, and then playoff times, it's all those guys. Like you look at like the top fantasy disappointments of the week, and I can show you all the guys that are on my list. But before we go,
Okay.
I told you I have a big announcement.
Oh, I forgot you have an announcement.
I have a big. That wasn't a joke. I have a big announcement.
I thought you did. I thought it was a joke. All right,
no.
What are we announcing tonight?
What are we announcing tonight? So I saw that. I've always been trying to get you away from your boomer Spectrum TV, but you don't because it's included with your place. Yep. So I mean, it makes sense why you have it. And I've always been a huge advocate of YouTube TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they announced yet again, starting in January, they're upping their price yet again. When I signed up, it was like $50-something a few years ago. It's going to be almost $85 a month.
Wow.
Almost $85 a month. So that means during football season, when I tack on Red Zone, that puts it close to $100 a month.
Wow.
Because it used to be the Red Zone package was like $8.99 on top of like the $55 for the TV. Mm-hmm. Now it's like $11 or $12.99 or $10.99 plus what's about to be almost $85 for TV. Right? So I'm here to tell you, I am not going to be a YouTube TV subscriber by the end of January, which means my time watching AEW has come to a close. I will have no way to watch it. We will be a full-on WWE show in 2025.
Oh my goodness, guys.
That's it.
Did we hear that? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I don't have to watch AEW ever again. I don't have to pay attention.
Listen, I thought about it. I'm like, I only have YouTube TV to keep up with wrestling because I only kind of watch Red Zone this year. I've been more invested in watching the Bucks, but I can watch that on regular television. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to pay $85 a month to try and force myself to watch AEW. Just like we were saying, what helps things get better sometimes? They need to go away for a while. So I'm sorry, AEW. It's time. I've been on board since day one. I was there the day Chris Jericho got the first ever title.
You were there. Like
I was literally there. No, I wasn't there. I was literally there in Chicago. It is time, though. It is time for AEW to go away. It's time for me to go away from AEW.
Wow.
It's time to separate. Maybe somewhere down the road. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. Somewhere down the road, I'm sure we'll cross paths again. That's why I was disappointed when Clutch wasn't here. Because I was announcing that's it. We are definitely a WWE show moving forward. Full WWE. You don't have to watch any more AEW.
What I can do.
That is an announcement, Tony Khan.
That's a good announcement. I'm gonna talk to you off air about an idea.
Okay.
But I could always bring up remember that one time about like 6, maybe it was like almost a year by now, where I gave everyone Collision and Rampage updates.
Yeah, one time.
That one time I did it. Yes. That one time where I was like, guys, I got an idea because nobody watches Collision and nobody watches Dino.
It was our weekly update.
I was like, I'm gonna give everyone an update on Collision and Rampage every week. And I'm like, I'm gonna limit myself to maybe 1 or 2 minutes to do it. Mm-hmm. I did it 1 week.
That was it.
And I said,
never again.
I just can't. I don't even care to look this stuff up anymore.
Nope.
I started that almost a year ago. Guess what? A very popular podcast is doing that now. So you're welcome for the idea. I'm glad you guys stumbled upon it. I really am, because I couldn't do it. Because I did not want to waste my time looking up Collision and Rampage results, but I did it once. You're welcome for that, by the way.
That's it. Once was too much.
But Justin does have a good point, which I just saw this, which you do because you have mine, and we're back, baby, just like that.
No, I'm done. I'm done
You
either
have
way.
my password. You do. So anyway, I'll just pretend you don't have my password. That's okay.
I'm out. I just also wanted to throw that jab in at YouTube TV. I'm done with it as well.
I get it.
No more TV. I don't even watch it. I literally don't watch TV.
I get it. You know what? This isn't a victory lap because that's cheesy. But whenever everyone was cutting the cord and I stayed with cable, and I would still have cable to this day if it wasn't in my HOA, I told everybody the price you're paying for internet and all those subscriptions are going to add up to what you had in cable.
But let me say this. So my internet's the same, right? My Spectrum was like $150 something for the TV. It was getting out of control, and they were cutting channels left, right, and center. That's why I made the switch. I did it first to Sling and then eventually to YouTube TV. Now, as far as all those other platforms, okay, Netflix, we have Netflix. We don't pay for it. I have HBO Max. I don't pay for that because you got it. we have Hulu, but we don't pay for it. The only thing that we pay for once I cut YouTube TV out, the only thing we'll pay for is like the $8.99 a month Peacock, and that's it. That's like the only streaming service.
We're full on WWE, baby.
That's it. We are fully WWE. Or yeah.
Well, honestly, you should, because, and I will close on this. And thank you to everyone that's still watching. I will say this: when WWE was bad, when Vince was running the show, when it was bad, like when I'm talking like Austin Theory finding a golden egg, I'm talking dumpster matches where fake alligators are attacking the Viking Raiders. I'm talking like
mystery boxes
with tarantulas inside of them. I'm talking about FTR getting their back shaved. When it was bad, we didn't watch. Correct. Like we didn't. We're not these kind of content creators or people or just in general. We're like, we're going to watch this and trash it. We just said we're not going to watch it. Yes, we'll make fun of it. We'll make fun of it, but we were done. For about 5 years, like I would catch the clips. I would see what's going on. But like
you wanted to check in just to see if it was getting a little bit better.
Yeah. But now we used to use this term a lot for AEW, appointment television.
Yep.
On Wednesday night at 8 p.m., it's you know what time it is, and it's time for wrestling. We said that many times on the show.
Yep.
Raw and SmackDown, Chris, are appointment television. Now I understand it's not your norm Wednesday night. We got Monday Night Football, and Friday we want to go out. I get it. I'm going out tomorrow night. I will not be watching wrestling. I will be out at Angry Chair tomorrow night.
Is SmackDown going to be on Netflix too?
No, just USA.
Okay, so I won't be able to catch SmackDown either. Then I'm going to be straight up WWE Raw and PLEs.
All right, but hear me out real quick, because like I said, Friday nights are hard for me to watch wrestling. I'm going to Angry Chair, then we're going to Joy Bar. Like we plan things on Friday nights. Monday nights we have football. I get it, but when football's done, Chris, make Monday an appointment television to watch or watch on Netflix, because they are though. But they are now. The shows are that good now.
Yeah.
So that's why we went back.
Yeah. We're gonna go where the good wrestling is. We're not one of these people that is overly brand loyal to one side or the other. We're loyal to good wrestling. And it was for many years, it was AEW. And it's so weird how as soon as Vince left, it's like it switched. I was hoping we would have two good wrestling promotions, but it's like it somehow just switched. And a lot of the things we complained about from WWE has become AEW lately.
It has. And it's, and it is what it is. And we're just on the right track to good pro wrestling on Monday nights, Friday nights, their PLEs. WWE is hot again. Maybe we'll go back to AEW. We will.
We will at some point. It'll get better.
If TNA gets good, or readily be available for me to watch. Let's be honest, because I don't even know where to find that. But I know Justin, where to find TNA.
Oh man.
Justin has all the answers though. He has he's telling you could watch SmackDown. Episodes will be on Peacock the next day.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's where I'll keep up with it.
Yeah. So therefore, that being said, I do have a lot of semifinals matchups to watch. I do have Cortland Sutton tonight. I do need to go watch football. So that being said, without further ado, I don't know, Kenny Omega, right? Bang. We're gonna get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Next week we'll have Clutch back on the show. I hope Thursday. Hold on. Are we taking off for Christmas? Are we doing a Christmas week? I think we should.
It's the day after Christmas.
Dude, you
We
think
can
I'm gonna
still-
be all right, we'll be here. We'll be here for all you holiday.
What are you gonna be doing? So Wednesday's Christmas. Obviously, that's family time. Friday, you'll be at SmackDown. But what are you doing Thursday? You're gonna be right here talking wrestling.
I can text you off there because there might be someone coming from Wisconsin. We're working on getting someone back home.
Okay.
Christmas. So if she's here, my daughter, we're
Yep.
hanging out.
Okay.
We'll be doing the show. That's what
Fair
I'm doing.
enough.
All right.
Fair
So anyway,
enough. Fair
that
enough.
being said, we're out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. We might be back next week. We might not. Have a Merry Christmas if I don't see you by then.